Movie review. This is The Entertainer. It was released in 1960. It's directed by Tony Richardson, and John Osborne was the screenwriter. The cast. In the lead role is Laurece Olivier. He plays Archie Rice. Brenda DeBazia is Phoebe, his second wife. Roger Livesey plays Billy, who's Archie's father. Joan Ploy is Jean, and this was in fact his sister, but in real life was his wife, and it was her debut. Alan Bates has a minor role as Frank, that's his son, and Daniel Massey is Jean's fiance, Graham. And Shirley Anfield has a minor role as a love interest of Archie's. Her name's Tina Lamford, and her mother is Flora Hurd. Albert Finney, the briefest of debuts, as Mick Rice before he goes off to Egypt to fight in the Suez conflict. And Charles Gray is a columnist. So, a few comments about the plot then. It's a black comedy. The focus of the movie revolves around Archie Rice's increasing failure in his job. He's a song and dance type comedian in a music hall atmosphere and does presentations in the holiday season at other venues. Very popular they were in the late 50s, 60s in seaside resorts where the people used to go for a 2-week break from their mundane jobs. There were variety shows, and Archie is following on from the success of his father, who was very popular in the war years. The film traces Archie's fall from grace as he battles financial problems and his inability to be able to really relate to all his family. So to the movie then, an early scene. In the early scenes we see how the working class enjoyed themselves at the seaside at that period in English history. I recall it myself as a very small boy going to the seaside. The beach was packed. Archie's a comedian, and he's also song and dance. He does indulge in tap dancing as well, and Master of Ceremonies is also a task that he does. Billy the father, who's had a successful career in the industry, was still highly regarded at the time that Archie was tapping the boards, but he is semi-retired now, and this causes heartache really to Archie because he's always trying to deliver like his father and falling short. So regarding performance, his jokes are now becoming very corny. The tap dancing and the sing-song lacks any zip, and the audience response is predictably poor. After the show, we see him in the dressing room taking off his makeup, and he quickly heads for the bottle to escape from the fact that his act is just not funny anymore. Also, Archie's family is in serious trouble. Jean has come back from London to try and repair the obvious damage in Archie's relationship with his second wife, Phoebe. She's also an alcoholic. And Frank, the son, is trying to calm things down. He's the only one who's got his feet firmly on the ground. Mick has joined up, as mentioned earlier, and Archie recognises that his marriage is falling apart. He resorts to cheap womanising, flirtatious behaviour as an escape. He's also always prone to a drink as well. The performance by Olivier is absolutely brilliant, of course. The character is a marked contrast really to his famous work in Shakespeare. drama on the stage, and he's still a magician as we see him going about his work. His use of language, his body language, his ability to communicate varying emotions from sarcasm to comedy in seconds, and teasing women, absolute 5-star expert at this. And you get the whole 9 yards with Olivier. His daughter Jean is very affectionate towards him and wants to try and help him, but he's almost beyond repair. He's also an undischarged bankrupt, and therefore is not in charge of his own money, which riles him considerably. And he's always trying to wheel and deal to try and get income, as his show is not making enough money. Archie befriends Tina after meeting her at a beauty pageant, and he tries to manipulate her by first seducing her and then trying to get money from her affluent family. When this fails, he finally asks his father to dig him out of a hole and to be the star of a show at the Winter Gardens. His father is really too old, and the plot takes a nasty twist. This is a very English movie with solid performances. It captures family dysfunction, a failed career, and the characters are well developed. The incidents throughout the film are powerful, and I found it emotional. Incidents of conflict within the family were very real. Archie sharing his past when he was a success, and he's close to tears trying to hide the reality of what's happening. Later on, it appears he's really got to this end of the road. He's erratic, without commitment, and he just doesn't care anymore. This movie didn't really hit the high spots on the awards season, but it was a nod to the type of entertainment that became popular towards the end of the Second World War and through the 50s. In the 50s, such acts as the Crazy Gang dominated music hall settings. They were the big stars. Comics, song and dance men, you're able to identify with this late 50s style drama. And my mother and father talked affectionately about the type of musical featured in this movie. Following the early 60s, the idea of this style of entertainment had virtually died as the rise of music, popular music, became evident with the arrival of Elvis and subsequently the Beatles. Okay, so in conclusion, if you like British drama, if you are a fan of Olivier, you must watch this movie. Directed by Tony Richardson, who became quite prolific throughout those 60s. I'd recommend it.